Again, another low IQ implementation. I just want to be clear that the American people should know that these are all Trump 2.0 policies. So when we say that he's failed, let me tell you, we got receipts, and those are some of the receipts.
We sincerely can't blame Jasmine Crockett for feeling really bad. I mean, Trump started all of this in the first place. Yeah, but then there's one question. Is any of what she's saying really making sense? You will soon find out anyways. I'm glad to have all of you all here, and if you love the spread of common sense, please do well to like this video, and now let's dive in.
I now recognize Ms. Crockett.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. Okay, I don't really know where to begin. We've got a lot of ground to cover in about 5 minutes, so let's go. I've got 3 statements that I want to know if you agree or disagree with, and I want to just go down the row. Yes or no? Does cutting pay typically assist in recruiting a workforce? Yes or no?
No.
No.
Generally, no.
No.
Thank you. It sounds like a low IQ implementation to me. So let's go to the next one. Does poor working conditions assist with recruitment? Yes or no?
No.
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 Sounds like another low IQ implementation to me. And finally, I'm going to start with Mr. Potter because I don't know how this is going to go. Does union busting help with recruitment?
No.
I know nothing about unions whatsoever. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
I don't know anything about unions either.
Okay.
No.
Okay, so again, another low IQ implementation. I just want to be clear that the American people should know that these are all Trump 2.0 policies. So when we say that he's failed, let me tell you, we got receipts, and those are some of the receipts.
Now, agreed, Donald Trump started this game, but then there's a place for common sense. It's only common sense that government offices who do not have so much doing should not receive as much funds as other, extremely active government departments. And even more, the government reserves the right to bust the unions if they share, anti-government stances on particular issues. I understand the concept called democracy, but everything must be done within the confines of the law, and that's acceptable.
So when we start talking about this pay, I think that we've talked about the fact that there was a 25%, up to a 25% cut in recruitment bonuses or retention bonuses, but I want to make sure that people understand the numbers. I want y'all to know what the numbers are. It looks like on average in 2023, the average CO for the BOP made $57,000. So now we're talking about potentially up to a 25% cut in that. Now let's transpose that with what they don't want to talk about is what we did last week, which was reconciliation, where in their bill, they decided that they wanted to add this big number as an increase for bonuses for ICE agents. What that translated to was bonuses of approximately $44,000 for each ICE agent. So we're talking about ICE agents getting an additional $44,000 per person, while on average, when we talk about our COs at the BOP only making $57,000 and talking about cutting up to 25% of that. That is why we're outraged. That is why we say that this is a joke, because you can't sit here and continuously underfund an agency and then expect it to overperform. So let's talk about the underfunding. We have talked about immigration for a reason, not because we think that it makes sense to just talk about immigration all day, every day. It seems like our colleagues on the other side of the aisle want to do it, but it is relevant to this conversation. You know why? Because according to this particular document from The Guardian, it says, as it relates to a partnership between BOP and ICE, two agencies that have generally operated separately, means people accused of civil immigration violations are being imprisoned in harsh environments of the federal penitentiaries run by prison guards. Right now, I believe that the most recent number that I had was that they had approximately 700 persons that were being held for ICE within the Bureau of Prisons. And guess what? Do you think they gave the BOP any extra dollars to be able to take care of those folks? They didn't.
Packages slashed by 25%, while the ICE officers had their salaries increased by $40,000. And it's simple. ICE agents face unbelievable hazards, while the CEOs, I'm talking about the commanding officers, sit in their offices at very low risk rates. And that's exactly why that happened. Now, that's the difference, and it's clear. As regards funding for the detained individuals, with immigration crimes, it's simple. Trump wants these people to leave the country as soon as possible, but the left-wing activist judges slow down this process, and the government is not obligated to give extra funding for such activities. Crystal clear.
I'll help you. It says Congress provided no increase to the BOP's salaries and expenses account in fiscal year 2024, despite the staffing crisis that has been linked to prisoner deaths and a cascade of operational problems at the agency. So, we talked about rape. So let me get to rape. It seems like it's a bit of hypocrisy, but that's not anything new, to say that you want to protect victims of rape and sexual assault and then allow Trump to gut funding for the Prison Rape Elimination Act Resource Center, a center that trains prison sexual assault auditors, tracks the results of the Prison Rape Elimination Act investigations, and provides resources to imprisoned sexual abuse survivors. So my question is, and I ask everyone if you can answer, can we all agree that rape and assault of prisoners is vile and completely unacceptable?
I agree.
I agree.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. And the last thing that I'll say is that according to the BOP, there have been a total of 2 individuals that have received gender-affirming surgery while in BOP custody. There have been a total of 4 that were referred, 4 others that were referred and were determined to be medically ineligible. So we're gonna have all this talk and all these fights about trans folk, and we're talking about literally 2 surgeries. I'll yield.
Crockett's last statement brings me back to the main reason President Donald Trump approved the creation of DOGE as DOGE. It's important to note that there are too many offices carrying out, duplicate functions, as a matter of fact, and the same prison officers. Now, what I'm about to say might be controversial, but this is the truth. The same prison officers can, carry out this research and investigation of all prison abuse cases without having to set up a resource center. The main aim of DOGE is to cut out waste from the government, and it's clear that a lot of corrupt folks within the Bureau of Prisons are not happy about the scrutiny. Now, let's talk about the trans prisoners. Let's not even talk about the trans prisoners and their funding. The great thing here is that taxpayers' monies can no longer get siphoned to the pocket of the elite bureaucracy. Now, let me know what you all think in the comment section about everything in here, and I would like to see you all on the next. Until our next clip coming up, please do well to take care of yourself and stay peaceful, and of course, have common sense. Peace out.